The art of questioning need to be taught. Give the child freedom to ask. This better chance to change the society by teaching.
Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Seema Chhoriya, and I bring to you another insightful session on Great Principles. Great Principles, an educational and interactive talk show that brings together best school leaders from the world. Born as humans, we all have predicted way of life to follow. Few are courageous enough to break away and yet be humane. These are leaders who are compassionate and dedicated to uplift the society from the dumps to a better place. My guest today supports the philosophy of life whereby each of us has an obligation to justify our work and get paid for the efforts we put in. Please join me in welcoming Ms Shabnam Bhowmick, Principal, Podar International School, Muzaffarpur, Bihar. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Seema. It's great to be on your show. And I was just following you, and you are doing great job. Really,
Thank you so
it's
much,
a
ma'am.
commendable job you're doing.
Thank you. It truly motivates us to keep doing what we are. And we all look forward for having educators like you with us, sharing their journey with us.
Same
So let us begin, ma'am. So to all my dear viewers, once upon a time, ma'am was a journalist and you gave this career of transforming society through your pen. You know, we all know how powerful the scribe's pen is, and you just left that career and you came up in the transformation of lives in the form of teaching children. So how this transition was? Why did you came into teaching profession? What made you do this?
See, if you asked me this question, 20, 30 years ago, anyone who asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would tell them, I don't know what do I want to be. I don't want to be a teacher. Because I have 14 teachers in my family of all, stages. And that was pretty clear that I don't want to be a teacher. And I joined journalism with all, that those dreams and that passions of a teenager who wants to change the society through her pen and stuff like that. And once in the job, I realized I was doing what I set out to do. But there were lots of, obligations, other obligations, professional obligations that came in the way. And then when after I had my baby, and I decided to take a sabbatical from journalism. Teaching was not as a permanent thing. I just thought I'll be in teaching till he grows up, and then I'll get back to journalism. I was very lucky that I got such a group. I joined as a mother teacher of class 2, and this particular group, they made me fall in love with teaching, and they taught me that this was my calling. And I feel all of us have a calling. Some are lucky enough to find it in this lifetime. Some keep on looking for what their calling is, but we are sent to this earth with a purpose. And I found my purpose. And I realized that, this way I can change the society the way I want. This better chance to change the society by teaching.
Absolutely. I think when we talk about changing the society, it's much easier to teach these children, those who are completely blank slate, rather than the men, those who are already in damage. They are already damaged. How we are going to repair them? Yeah. So, an absolutely delight. And whenever we have a principal from Podar, it's such good to know that everyone talking so fondly about the group as if it's one huge family, and each one of us, each one of you feel as if you are the member of this family, so integrally connected. So I
Yes.
really look forward when I have principals from Prodar group here. They are extremely, very connected, and the management with the management also, and that is reflected in their work.
We are very well connected, not only because of being under one big umbrella, but the trustees are so available. They are, and last year I contracted COVID, and I joined and got sick. Okay, and all principals, 147 schools. I kept on getting calls from them and the messages. It makes you. I was immediately, in the family fold after joining, and that plus the freedom that we get here to use your ideas, how little bit changes in the pedagogy if you want, and then you can do whatever actually you want to do, which is sometimes not possible in a single person run businesses. So that is probably what keeps you, stuck to Podar once you're in.
Yeah, and I think that is the reason that today there are 147 whooping branches span
Yes.
country. Wonderful. Great to know this about such a wonderful group. And this group is setting out examples for all the other chain of schools too, that this is how you are supposed to treat your team, teach your management, give them the freedom, to
Yeah.
use their skills and their creativity in managing their own schools. Wonderful to know this. Going ahead, ma'am, in our
Mm.
conversation, there are a lot of things which we really don't care about. We say to all the things to people, we all parents and educators want our children to be independent. We all want that, but still we are holding the stick and we are always behind them. We love to control them. So should we grant our children freedom to express and ask without inhibitions?
Of course. Otherwise, I go a step further and till now, I have been teaching English to class 11 and 12. That is the time actually where you can, talk man to man. Kids are still in a very moldable age, and you need to understand a lot about them before try to mold them really. But 11 and 12, I used to tell them, be a rebel, because just give me one example where you know about a person and he became somebody without questioning. Everyone, right from Einstein to Amartya Sen, they have questioned why. So this needs to be the essence of education. Give the child freedom to ask. This is what I also do when I am training my teachers. I tell them that don't impose yourself on them. Don't set out to finish the syllabus. Ask them, teach them why. Even if you are teaching them addition, tell them why do they need to learn addition. Because getting a job is not a definitely. So, of course, the day we take this independence away from kids, that sometimes, in some cultures, that may seem like you are teaching kids to answer back, question back. If you are asking a child, you have not done your homework, do it 100 times. In my school, the child has a right to ask why 100 times. You want, and the teacher needs to explain that improves your handwriting, and first 100 times is not allowed, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, it 25 times improves your handwriting, makes you understand the concept, and you will start questioning this whatever you are writing in the meanwhile. So yes, the art of questioning need to be taught. That's a very important thing that we teach our kids to
Right.
do.
Ma'am, I think, children are born curious. They were born with this inquisitive nature of asking. Somewhere we have made them sit in a factory kind of a setup, and we are the one who have actually taken away this natural curiosity of them. And you rightly said, this is what is needed to be ignited again. We need to tell our teachers, our parents, our educators out there that let the child question, let them question. It's nothing like they're not respecting you. They just want to understand the why. So, to all my dear viewers, why is very, very important. We need to understand the importance of the word why. It has to be used extensively by our children today so that they are better tomorrow. Going ahead in our conversation, ma'am, each teacher has personalities and capabilities that define their success differently. We are awarded for the good and appreciated for what we do. So tell me, ma'am, which awards has justifies your achievement in the field of education?
I got Woman Extraordinaire Award by Times Group in 2020. So they are, honestly, my team is to be praised for those awards. I am the one people see, but behind my success, there's an entire team working. Whatever my vision is, if the team is not able to match up to the vision, then I'm nothing. I am what they make me of. And yeah, I couple of awards from Dainik Jagaran, Guru Samman, and I was the zonal teacher, best zonal teacher by Science Olympiad Foundation. And yes.
Wonderful. So these awards, these appreciation, do they boost your morale to continue in this profession?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely they do, but not with all due respect to the people who awarded me, and but the biggest award for any teacher is your kids remembering you. Teaching is once you are in this field, you will learn that it's like having so many kids. And why are, as human beings, why are we so much attached to our kids? In a way, you want to live through them.
Right.
Imagine I'm living through 1,000 students as a teacher. So that is sometimes when your students stand up and say that I am so and so student, I won't do it, or I learned this from my teacher. That is where this award cannot match anything in the world. That is something that boosts my morale even more than maybe other awards.
Completely agree to this. There is nothing more rewarding when you see two little eyes looking at you and saying, yes, you are the one who has created difference in my life. So there cannot be anything more rewarding than that, be a teacher or we as mothers. When we see
Yes,
our children accomplished to a place, you rightly said, when you are in a school, you're mother to 1,000 children. And when we see our children doing well in life, the satisfaction that we get is priceless.
yes, that's true.
So moving ahead in our conversation, ma'am, now, so you are in, I should not call it, but it is the most thankless job today. Teachers are not given that respect which was there once in our ancient Indian education system. So, but still you have to move on and keep the good things going on, whatever you do. And there are at times when things backfires. We have few parents are there or few other people are there who says that, no, this was not done up to the mark. So during such times, who is that person you look up for your advice, inspiration, and support?
My previous boss, Mr. Sharat Kumar Singh, he is now heading a school in Punjab,
Okay.
and he has been my mentor. Not only mine, I think he set out with some kind of vision, like I have to create principles, kind of thing, and he gave us all equal opportunities. Whoever could take those opportunities grew. But I do call him, and whenever I'm stuck. But a little away from the topic, what you said that teachers do not get the same respect. I'm very sorry to say, Seema, we do not behave the way our teachers did. The teachers who deserve that respect, they got. Probably we do not. We take teaching as a profession. We do not take teaching as a calling anymore. So if when we take teaching as a calling, then I don't think this happens.
Right.
No, you do get a lot of respect. Yes, okay, respect doesn't get transfer. It is not in monetary sense. You don't earn much, but of course you do get a lot of respect. Both my parents are were in teaching, so yes, I do still run to my mother. Dad is no more, and she was also an administrator. So there are a few things I still learn every day from her. But these two people, Mr. Sharat Kumar Singh and my mother.
I think I completely agree with you, ma'am. When you do your best, you get best in return. So it's like kind of a give and take relationship, which we all are in. Be whatever be the profession. If you're not giving your best, result will not come best. And that is what defines your status also. That is how the people react to you, right? So very honest answer by ma'am here that it's like both way round. So we all are in the partnership kind of a program and give and take kind of relationship which is being there. So moving ahead in our conversation, now we have reached to the segment which is called rapid fire round. So you have to answer in one word or a statement.
I'll try. Yeah.
All right. So here comes my first question to you. What are your hobbies?
I love dancing. I'm a trained Bharatanatyam dancer. So whenever I can, and I like designing sarees. I paint them. Uh,
Wow.
and reading, writing, traveling. I need to travel every 3 months somewhere. Otherwise, I feel like I have been, someone has put me in a box and closed the lid. So yes, I am a travel enthusiast. I like writing as well, and I am a voracious reader. I can read anything and everything. I mean, any type thing I can read.
Wow, so we have so many talents in one place. You are a writer and you're a reader. You love to travel. You're creative as you're painting saris, and yes, you are a dancer too. So many personality, and yes, we cannot forget that ma'am is a brilliant leader as she's leading this institute, and she's a fabulous teacher too. So wonderful to know so many traits in one person. Going ahead to our next question, tell us about a funny or a weird incident in your life.
Can you tell two?
Yeah, of course.
Quickly. Yeah, not in one word though. One was I in a leave vacancy. That was my first in teaching. Right after my graduation, I joined a school for 3 months as their chemistry PGT. The first day in the school, the principal took me to class 12 to introduce me that this is your teacher. Before she could say anything, the girl sitting in the front seat just moved her stuff aside. That new girl is going to sit beside me. So that was one funny. And second one is a very learning, that you can say changed my perception as a teacher. I told you that I was teaching class 2. I was a homeroom teacher for them. And there was this very quiet, very intelligent boy who would mostly keep to himself. He was not an extrovert. And I started, he was brilliant. We knew that from his results and all. And what he did, one day I was just, it was the end of the class, I was taking a quick quiz. I was not ready for the quiz. So what I did is I just made up some questions, gave them 4 options,
Mhm.
and asked them to tell me which one is the correct answer. After 2, 3 questions, he comes up to me, and you know how this little kids are. You have to get down to their level. Ma'am,
Right.
listen. Yeah. So I asked him, what happened, Raman? He was Raman Gupta. He tells me, you're giving out the answers. I was like, am I? I'm not giving out the answers. He said, see, what did you ask? You asked, I am the size of feast, and I pump blood. And while giving the options, you were like, option A is liver, option B is heart, option C is kidney. Why did you not stop before saying heart? You have to think the options that are not true. But
Right.
the option that is correct, you are not thinking. You should at least act. That was a huge learning from me. And that is why I really believe that, trust me, the students know more than you do, more than you think they do.
Certainly.
Be aware, be respectful towards them, and go with this notion in your mind that the group that you're going to teach, given a chance, they can teach you better.
Yeah.
So please prepare well for the class. Yeah.
And this was also an example of how sharp observant children are. They observe
Yes.
everything. You
Yes.
know,
They do.
Truly, both the incidents are like, one is actually funny, but you feel good now when your children says, oh, when you are treated as one of them, and you really realize, oh, do I look so young? Oh, wow, that's very good.
That is true. That is
So,
true. And for teaching, teenagers, class 11th and 12th, you have to keep talking in their language. You have to read what they are reading. You need to keep abreast of what they are listening to, whose songs they are listening to, whether you like it or not.
right.
But that is the way to communicate to them.
And that is when you connect, right? And when you
Yes.
connect better with the children, you can teach them better, understand their
Yes.
doubts better. So great. Moving ahead to our next question. So you are an avid DIY person. So do you have any latest DIY project of yours which you can show us?
I cannot show you. I don't have it here. I keep doing that with my kids at home, really. So we created a remote holder.
Mhm.
Then I keep making this wind chimes for them. Yes.
Wonderful. So, this is how we always push our children to think out of the box and create new things. So, this was again a learning here that ma'am is absolutely creative person, and she's passing this straight to her children also. Moving ahead. So, you mentioned that you love traveling and you cannot stay if you don't travel in 3 months. So, you love to travel and document your journey. Is there any incident of your traveling that you would like to share with us?
Yes, but that was not really traveling. I was traveling for a medical reason. My father needed, and I was very young at that point of time. I think I was in class 10th, and we were traveling by train from Chennai to Kolkata. And somehow this happened that the train got stuck for those days. It was very common, got stuck for 10 hours in the same place,
Oh my God.
and we ran out of water, drinking water. Next stoppage, when we stopped, the train started moving and we stopped. You can imagine the crowd at the water point. Huge crowd, and I'm not very tall, so I lost myself in that crowd. My father, he had an operation, so he could not get down from the train. I was the only one traveling with him. I went to the water point, and there was no way I could crack through the huge crowd and reach the water point. Felt I would have lost my train. Suddenly, there were two very strong hands. I saw, it was not touching me, but it was like shielded the entire crowd, and the crowd parted. I still don't know, even till today, I don't know who was the owner of those hands. But every breath I take, I thank that person. And this is what, this restored my faith in humanity, that somewhere someone is watching over you. And there are people who do help without asking.
Yeah.
I just, the crowd parted, I went in, filled my bottle, and was happily went back. Nothing happened. So I could have, there could have been a stampede,
Yeah.
had I not got that help. So that was something I always remember.
Yeah.
And I travel a lot, so I am into traveling to, tiger reserves more.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah. I've been a part of Tiger Census also in 2003, I guess. So every trip is a learning event.
Certainly, I'm a true believer of that. I feel that if I experience something, I remember it well. How many times, if I read about Kashmir, I won't remember it, but once if I visit it, it will be there. So this is the
Yes.
power of traveling, and I really like the incident, and it restored my faith in humanity. And I think education is again something which can help our children to understand to be how to be a better person, a better citizen, and give back and be human. So this is what is the magic of humanity again. Going ahead in our conversation, last question in this segment is, I think I will answer this. Let me see. Your favorite Indian attire is sari, is it?
Yes, it is.
I thought so because you mentioned you liked doing saris. All right, so let me take up one more now. Name the genre of books you like to read.
I told you I'm a voracious reader. I can read anything. Okay, if even if you give me peanuts to eat before throwing the wrapper, I'll read whatever is there in that newspaper and throw. But
Wow.
it has been changing, honestly. And right now, I am reading a lot of Devdutt Patnaik,
Mhm.
and I am very very interested in you know mythologies, Greek and Indian both. So anything related to that, yeah.
Wonderful. It was great to know you in this segment, ma'am. And we came to know a lot of things about you in just few questions. So we come to the last question of the show, which is called Viewer's Choice Question. And my viewer says that, do you believe we can bring education to the less fortunate walking the street? If yes, then how can we do that? And how can we teach our children to share, to educate the people, those who are not, at the same level of the society, those who are economically at a poor level?
And first is, stop telling them they're poor. Kids don't know it. They don't have to.
Certainly.
When, I mean, those who are coming to your maybe live close by is okay. They are underprivileged. They don't have the privilege that you do. So you have a responsibility towards them, and we can bring education to the child living on the street is simply forget education being your profession once more. It's not your profession. You are just talk to them respectfully. If you torture them into educating, they're not going to come to you, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience for you either. So if you set out, if you really, really want to take education to the rest of the child, all you have to do is respect the child. Try to, yeah, watch a lot of movies, and I was a guest lecturer for a college where movie reviews were my subject.
Okay.
And I think that interest is still there. And I was watching a movie. It's an uh, animated one. I forgot Lula or something. Okay, it's about it's about a mermaid, a
Mhm.
child who's a mermaid and who comes to the world, and he gets hooked. Initially, starts asking questions, and there's another normal human child who gives him a book to read and teaches him how to read. And this child is now doesn't want to go back to being mermaid because he is so hooked to learning. I mean, books have opened, and all
Right.
you have to do is just ignite that spark. By nature, you just said that by nature all kids are inquisitive. They want to know. For us elders, education can be, it's boring. You have to mug up, you have to learn by rote. For kids, don't tell them that you have to learn by rote. Just ignite that, just remind them that you are inquisitive by nature and I have the answers. They'll come to you, and it's then very easy to educate them. You don't have to sit with the alphabet book with them, but teach them what they need to know.
Absolutely.
That's it. Yeah. And I told you, do we have time?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah. I have been to Khajuraho, if you have ever been there.
Hmm.
And that tiny village, Khajuraho is a village, okay, in middle of nowhere. You will cross kilometers of Bihar, they call it, Bihar land, where nothing grows. And it's totally village. And suddenly you will see an oasis. Okay, hotels like Taj group of hotels are there,
Hmm.
lots of foreigners. There, Khajuraho as a village is actually the village of underprivileged people.
Okay.
Okay, most of them are cobblers, and all those kids, totally illiterate, never been to a school, at least speak four languages: Japanese, French, Italian, and of course English.
Wonderful.
So you don't really have to do anything to,
Right.
you don't have to go into social service to teach the kids. Just be there, listen to them. When they ask questions, answer. That will be service enough to the society.
Absolutely. I think what our society has also mistaken is we don't understand the meaning of education. We relate it to literacy. Literacy is your reading, writing skills. Education is far beyond that. So, when you educate a child, you open the doors of thinking, giving them a new perspective, a new horizon of the world is all together for them. And that is what education is. It makes you a better person. You can think better. It enhances your capability of knowing yourself, the world around you better. So, to all my dear viewers, as ma'am mentioned, there is nothing out of the box you are going to do or any kind of social service. If you ever get an opportunity, just try to see if you are interacting. These kids learn in every direction. As ma'am said, from Khajuraho, the small village, they are speaking 4 languages. So, how they are doing it? They are interacting with the people around, and in turn, those people are interacting with them. So, just this small step of giving an interaction of stopping by and talking to these kids can make a difference. So it was a brilliant answer, ma'am, and a small suggestion by the you can improve lives of thousands out there. So thank you so much for your time with us. It was truly an insightful session. I really enjoyed, and there is so much to know from you more. I know this, but yes, we also have restrictions. We are looking forward to see you again. We are coming up with 2, 3 more news, different kind of series where we'll be having a lot of discussions on varied topics. So we look forward to have you again on our show. It was truly a privilege for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been nice. I mean, wonderful interacting with you. Thank you so much.